In a small town there were rumors about an old, abandoned mansion on the edge of the forest. People said it was cursed and that those who crossed its threshold always encountered strange things. One day, a man named Alex decided to go there. His curiosity had always been his weakness, and the rumors about the cursed house only fueled his interest. The mansion greeted Alex with a creaking door and the stale smell of old walls. Inside, it was dimly lit, with only the faint light of the moon filtering through broken windows, casting eerie shadows on the walls. There was something unsettling in the air, as if an unseen presence was watching his every step. Alex entered a spacious room with a massive wooden table in the center. On the table was an antique rotary phone. He couldn't help but notice it. The phone looked out of place, as if someone had just put it there, unlike everything else in the house. Suddenly, the phone rang. The sound was so sharp and unexpected that Alex jumped. He moved closer, feeling his breath quicken. Who could be calling an old, abandoned house, especially on a phone that had likely been disconnected long ago? He picked up the receiver. "Hello?" he asked quietly. There was no answer. Only a faint whisper, barely audible, seemed to come from a great distance. Alex strained to make out the words. "Can you hear me?" The voice finally whispered directly into his ear. Alex dropped the receiver, overwhelmed by sudden fear. He turned, ready to leave the room, but all the doors slammed shut. Panic began to take over his mind. And then he saw her. At the other end of the room stood a woman in a long white dress, her eyes empty and black, like the darkness itself. She stared directly at him, her lips moving, though no sound came out. "Do you hear my voice but can't see where I came from?" She finally spoke. Alex took a step back, his legs shaky. He wanted to run, but his body felt paralyzed with fear. The woman vanished like mist, but her words kept echoing in his mind. He rushed at the door, but it wouldn't budge. Desperately trying to find a way out, he ran through the dark corridors, his breath growing more and more erratic. It seemed as though the walls of the house were closing in on him, and the shadows on the walls moved as if watching him. He stumbled upon an old door that seemed to lead to an exit, but when Alex opened it, he found another room. In the center stood a large mirror. He looked into it and saw not his own reflection, but the woman standing behind him. "You won't find the exit until you answer my question," her voice said. Alex turned sharply, but there was nothing behind him. In panic, he tried to break the mirror, but his hands passed through the glass as if through smoke. He tried to scream, but no sound came out of his throat. The phone rang again. The sound was now coming from all directions, like an echo, reverberating in an empty space. Alex froze, feeling his strength drain away as if the house was absorbing his energy. "Not every question deserves an answer," the voice from the darkness whispered. The phone stopped ringing. The silence was unbearable. Alex slowly sank to the floor, feeling his consciousness fading. He closed his eyes, hoping it was just a dream, but he knew he would never leave this house again. The next day, people in the town whispered again about the strange mansion, but now they said someone had seen a man sitting on the floor in one of the rooms, staring into space. They said he heard voices, but couldn't understand where they were coming from, and no one dared to enter, for everyone knew the voice from the darkness only calls those who are ready to listen.